Terry, thank you so much for joining me and for agreeing to do this and tell your story. I'm super thankful. You and I met about 2 years ago, I think, or maybe a little bit more, at a conference for women leaders in nonprofit space because we are trying to do power differently for our generation and for the next generation. And I just felt like we connected on multiple levels. I invited you to tell your story with me. And so I'm really grateful for that. I would love to hear, who is Terry right now?
Terry Janor at this moment is a lot of things that I am finally having time to sort out and enjoy. I retired from working at the University of Massachusetts about a year ago as combination of professor and director of one of the art galleries on campus. So I was there for 30 years. Plus, I taught at other colleges in graduate programs. But Terry is an artist. Terry was born that way. So, music, I do visual art, I teach writing workshops. So, the arts are my core. And yeah, that's my life. And I'm just so grateful that right at this moment, Terry is someone who is um, free from institutional obligations so that I can dig deeper.
Now, in the moment that you are, in the place that you are today, as the Terry you are, and all the experiences and learnings you've had over the years, what is that one lesson learned or one advice you would give to your former self or younger self?
Concerning the work that I've been doing, I would say reach higher, reach higher, reach as high as you can, and don't doubt yourself. I've always been a very confident person, and I've done so many things. I've traveled around the world. I think I've 5 continents, and I've done so many things. And yet, there's so much that I passed by. I've been a very happy person, but I wouldn't say that I've taken advantage of all opportunities that I could have that would still have made me happy.
Like, do you know what may have made you stop from taking advantage of all that was offered to you in the universe?
Yes, peace and joy are top of my list, and being content with what I'm doing. And so my questioning whether this would take me too far away from what I was made to do, which was to create.
You retired, right? But you're not really retired because you're still doing many things. I guess from the institution career life you've retired from. So, being retired, and I put that in quote and unquote. What's one thing that you might be learning that you wish you had known while you were preparing for it, or now that you're in it? What's that one thing you've learned? Because like you mentioned, how can you know unless you've lived through it or you're experiencing it?
I would say that part of what I'll tell you is something that I've done, but I haven't done enough of. But it's investing money early. Stop spending your money on bullshit. I probably didn't start investing money until my late 30s, early 40s. And it's been good, but it could have been even better. So that's a big one.
That idea of letting money work for yourself it's not something I learned until I was also in my mid 30s. And I think, I don't know about you, but I've always been so afraid of that. It's like it's what people with money do, and since I don't have that much money, I'm not allowed to even be in that space.
Sonia, what happened was I had to ask myself, what is it about money that, or having money and making and having a lot of money, that frightens you? And this is connected to my last answer. I thought that I would have to do something I don't like doing. I thought that I would have to work in a job that made me sick. I thought that I would have to give up touring as a musician or teaching and the things that I love. And once I got over that fear, I found ways to make money that were enjoyable.
So you really were able to pursue what you love as your career in a way.
Yeah, but I had to look at me and say, what is it that you're afraid of?
I know. I think, a lot of times what I've heard, not that, everybody hears, but what I've heard is that when you're trying to figure out what you want out of life or what you want from your family and friends and partner and career, like, sit with yourself, ask yourself those hard questions. And it seems like that's what you were kind of doing in that sense. I don't know if you remember that process or those moments. Would love to kind of, if you do, would love to hear more about that. Like, how did you do that?
I think just the question, what are you afraid of? That's not something I would ordinarily have asked myself because I pride myself on being fearless. But to ask the question, to say, oh, you know what, Terry, you've created this block. I fell into that period of time and what was going on during that time and that headset of what was going on. Then as a 38, 40-year-old, I was able to go back and say, yeah, I don't have to be afraid of making money, So
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
started me on a new path.